Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Man United are very close to appointing Erik Ten Hag as the next manager. The Man United dressing room is split over the possible Erik Ten Hag appointment. Erik Ten Hag is the favourite to become Manchester United's next manager. Erik Ten Hag has a release clause of just over €2 million. Erik Ten Hag has already said that Manchester United is a great club with great fans. He's already putting his plans in place should Man United appoint him as the manager. Ten Hag wants Robin van Persie back at Old Trafford as part of his backroom staff. He also wants to sign Anthony from Ajax, and he now wants to bring another player in. Recently, Rangnick spoke very highly of Erik Ten Hag to the Man United board. He's helping in the process, regarding a new manager. A lot of Manchester United fans would like to see Erik Ten Hag get recommended in. It'd be good for him to come and experience the Premier League because he's not yet managed in the Premier League. And if he became Man United's next manager, he would suit the strappings of the club. He'd get the best out of these group of players and he would be capable of winning trophies. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. At Ajax, he's developed the young players well. He's won a couple of Eredivisie titles. He's won some Dutch Cups, and revert back to 2019, he got Ajax to the Champions League semi-finals. He's been the Ajax manager for over 4 years. Ajax appointed him in back in December 2017. His contract expires next year. Before Ajax, he managed Utrecht, and before then managed Bayern Munich's reserves and Go Ahead Eagles. There's still a lot of narratives coming out regarding Mauricio Pochettino. He's saying Pochettino is still in frame to become Man United's next manager. Foot Mercato said the other day that Pochettino sees himself at PSG for a long time. Pochettino is under pressure at PSG, but despite that, he's said that he wants to stay at PSG. PSG may have to pay 17 million to sack Pochettino. Pochettino not so long ago got interviewed for the Manchester United job. The vast majority of Manchester United players would like to see Pochettino become the next manager. I do reckon that Pochettino is a good manager, even though he's hardly won anything. He's proven in the Premier League, which is beneficial because before he managed Tottenham and Southampton. He's been the PSG manager for over a year. He's won a French Cup with them and his contract at PSG expires next year. Revert back to when Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho. Man United should have got Pochettino then, but the club decided to go with Solskjaer instead. You know, Man United are looking for the 5th permanent manager since Ferguson retired. You know, we've sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson, even though Man United are not really known as a sacking football club. Rangnick, he's on his way out of Manchester United. You know, Ralph Rangnick is under pressure. Rangnick has been Manchester United's interim manager for over 3 months now. He initially said he's Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season, then he's expected to take up a consultancy role for a further 2 years. But obviously the consultancy role is in serious doubt. Rangnick has drawn a lot of games as Man United's interim manager. He's lost 4 games in all competitions as the interim manager. It's mentioned a few times that Rangnick wants the permanent Man United job. I told you I've got a lot of respect for Rangnick. I think he's a very good coach. Before Man United, he was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. He's enjoyed 1 transfer window as Man United's interim manager. Unfortunately, he didn't get backed in the January transfer window. Don't forget, earlier on this season, Rangnick recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he recommended Saz Chalenzin as a sports psychologist. You know, Rangnick's aim for this season is for Man United to finish in the top 4. I don't think we'll finish in the top 4 this season. I think Arsenal or Tottenham will finish in the top 4. You know, Man United can't win a trophy this season. Man United have not won a trophy for 5 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. We recently drew 1-1 against Leicester. You know, that was more points dropped. Now, I want to give you some news on Louis van Gaal. Louis van Gaal reveals he has prostate cancer. He made the announcement on a Dutch TV programme. You know, I'll send all my best wishes to Louis van Gaal. I hope he fully recovers. You know, cancer is a horrible disease. Louis van Gaal is in charge of the Netherlands national team. He's in his 3rd spell now. Don't forget, before, Louis van Gaal won titles in Spain, Germany and the Netherlands. You know, Louis van Gaal is the former Man United manager. Louis van Gaal was Man United manager for around 2 years. He did win the FA Cup when he was Man United manager. And don't forget, Van Gaal has said that Erik Ten Hag should not go to Manchester United. We've got to get the Glazers out of the club because they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. You know, the Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 17 years. The Glazers bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. Revert back to quite a few weeks ago, it said the Glazers were planning to demolish Old Trafford. I said, should Old Trafford get demolished? Said Man United were looking to upgrade the stadium. We was looking to increase the capacity to around 80,000. At the moment, Old Trafford holds around 75,000. Old Trafford is the second biggest stadium in England. Wembley's the biggest in England. Man United have played at the same stadium for 112 years. Richard Arnold, he's Man United's chief executive. He got appointed in as the chief executive earlier on this season. He replaced Ed Woodward. It was good news from Man United perspective that Woodward stepped down, because Woodward was one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. He was accountable for how poor our recruitment policy was and that. Woodward was Man United's vice chairman for 17 years. In the last 10 years, Manchester United have only won 4 trophies. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. In the last 10 years, Man United have spent over 1.3 billion. We brought a lot of players in since Ferguson retired. When we had Moyes, he brought just 2 players in. When we had Van Gaal, he brought around 15, 16 players in. When Jose Mourinho was Man United manager, he recommended 11 players into the club. And when Solskjaer was United manager, he brought 14 players into the club. And let me put into the equation, none of this squad is Rangnick's. Rangnick is inheriting players who other managers have brought in. We've got just 2 players here from the Ferguson era, that's Phil Jones and David De Gea. Manchester United have not been the same team since Ferguson retired. And a lot of United fans predicted it was all going to go wrong when Ferguson retired, which obviously it has done. We've got to accept that no one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club. Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. He brought success to Manchester United. He won 30 odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles, but he didn't settle in straight away, Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Alex Ferguson was the Manchester United manager for around 26 years, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. Ferguson retired almost 10 years ago. The only mistake Ferguson made was recommending David Moyes in when he retired, but the reasons he did that is because they're both Scottish, and at that time Ferguson had a lot of time for David Moyes. Before Ferguson, Man United weren't that good, weren't that good under Ron Atkinson, weren't that good under Wilf McGuinness. And we certainly weren't good under Franco Farrell. We got relegated under Franco Farrell back in the 70s. Franco Farrell is no longer here now. He died. Was it earlier on this year or was it last year? So there you go. And in the summer of this year, I'm expecting Manchester United to make signings. We need to sign a defensive midfielder and a striker. On the other side of things, I'm expecting a lot of players to depart the club this summer. This summer, I reckon Harry Maguire will leave. Well, it's already said that Harry Maguire's Man United future is in doubt. Man United are prepared to sell Maguire. Don't forget, Maguire got booed for England the other week. To be fair though, Maguire didn't do bad against his former club recently. He looked solid at the back. But one good game is not going to change my perception on him. I can't understand how Harry Maguire is still Man United captain. Throughout the course of this season, a lot of United fans have been demanding for the captaincy to be taken off Maguire, but earlier on this season, Rangnick said that Maguire will remain Man United captain until the end of the season. Man United certainly overpaid for Maguire, got him for 80 million, he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, and he's the second most expensive sign at the club, and he's been a United player for over 2 years. And he's had quite a few injuries since he came to the club. Jones and Bailly, also expecting them to leave this summer because they don't really get in the team. I think Man United could look to sell Aaron Wan-Bissaka as well. He's not good enough. And he's not our first choice right back under Rangnick. You know, Diego Dalot is our first choice right back under Rangnick. Bissaka, most of the time good defensively, but the attacking side of his game is not so good. This season has been his third full season at Man United. Man United got him from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. Got him for £50 million. Dean Henderson, he'll leave Man United I think this summer. Henderson's our second choice keeper. Doesn't really get in goal, De Gea's number one. Henderson has only made 3 appearances this season. Don't forget earlier on this season Henderson got arrested for abusing his girlfriend. Towards the end of last season though, Henderson got that number 1 jersey and he did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Henderson has got that experience behind him because before he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield, he's had other loan spells before with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury, and he's got a contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year. Matic, I'm expecting him to leave Man United this summer. He's out of contract in the summer. I've always had my reservations about Matic because he's always been a static midfielder and he's ageing up and that. He's not one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he's still being given his opportunities. He's the only predominant centre defensive midfielder Man United have got at the moment. Matic has been a United player for over 4 years. Man United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017 for 40 million. Paul Pogba. There's a good chance he'll leave Man United this summer. If he doesn't leave this summer, I think he'll leave next year. Pogba's out of contract at Man United this summer. I'm hearing that the club wants Paul Pogba to stay. I don't think Paul Pogba has yet made a decision on his Man United future. Earlier on this season, Pogba's trainer claimed that he wants to leave Old Trafford. Pogba not so long ago was in talks with 2 Premier League clubs, Real Madrid, PSG, and his former club Juventus have been in for him. So reflecting on that, you know, he's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. To Pogba's credit, I think he's enjoyed quite a lot of good games since he recovered from injury. He's had some bad games as well. Well, earlier on this season, he was out with injury for a while. He's endured quite a few injuries since he re-signed for the club, so he is injury prone. Man United paid 89 million for Pogba, so reflecting on that, he's our most expensive signing at the moment. This season has been his 6th season at Man United since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far and he's played over 200 games since he re-signed. Jesse Lingard, expecting him to leave Man United this summer. Lingard should have left in January this year, but Man United blocked his exit. Lingard's out of contract in the summer. He has been part of the club for a long time. He came up our academy in that, but doesn't really get in the team. At the second half of last season, endured a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Van der Beek, I think there's a good chance he'll leave permanently this summer. He's out on loan with Everton at the moment. Everton, I don't think, have an option to buy Van der Beek at the end of the loan. Martial, I think he'll leave permanently this summer. Martial's out on loan with Sevilla at the moment, but Sevilla have no buy option to get Martial at the end of the loan. But not so long ago, there was rumours of a possible Anthony Martial and Harry Kane swap deal. Mata, he's another one who will leave this summer. He's out of contract in the summer and he's been a Man United player for 8 years now. He's had a good career at United, but, Mata doesn't get in the team now. He lost his place in the team a while ago. And Edison Cavani, he'll leave Man United this summer. He's out of contract in the summer. The last time I read up, it said Cavani was close to agreeing a move to Real Sociedad. He held talks with Real Sociedad, and Cavani's also been linked to a move to Brazil. Cavani's out with injury at the moment. Not so long ago, had a groin injury. He's had quite a few injuries since he came to United. Man United got him on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Rashford could leave Man United this summer because he's been subjected to a lot of transfer speculation. Not so long ago, sources close to Football Insider said that Rashford told his friends he wants to quit Man United this summer, and Fabrizio Romano said earlier on this season that Marcus Rashford was considering his future with Man United as he was concerned about his lack of playing time. Don't forget Rashford got dropped for the England squad the other week and he didn't start against Leicester recently. Rashford is a good player overall, but I think he's enjoyed a lot of poor games this season. He hasn't been the same player since he had that problem with his shoulder. He missed the first 2 months of the season with that shoulder problem, and earlier on this season had a minor leg injury. His contract at Man United expires next year. He's been part of the club for a long time, came up our academy, being a United player since the age of 7 and broke into our senior squad back in 2016. And since then he's gone on to make nearly 300 appearances in all competitions. And we've got quite a lot of players' contracts that do expire next year. I think at least 7 or 8 will leave this summer, and we'll see obviously more players leave Man United next year. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.